Let's now have a look at how we can enter and modify data. And that's of course something which is also very easy to do. Like for example, in a text field you can enter text, in a code field you can select codes and so on. But there are a couple of very useful tips and tricks that I would like to give and that you can use when, for example, entering dates. Let's have a look. So especially when entering dates, you can use some shortcuts, like for example W for the work date, the T for today's date. You also see that you don't have to type separators. You can just type 150115, which is then January 15, 2015. And there are also some abbreviations that you can use for weekdays. Now also something which is very interesting is that you can calculate in amount and quantity fields. So if you want to make simple calculations such as multiplying, dividing, adding and so on, you don't have to use your calculator. You can just do these calculations in NAV itself. And there's also the filter as you type function. Also here a very useful function that you can use to very easily enter items, customers, vendors, resources and so on. So here in application, let's start with having a look at how we can enter dates. And so if I go to sales orders, and if I click on new to create a new sales order, we already saw that some dates are assigned automatically. But here we also have the requested delivery date, for example. And suppose I would like to enter this field. The first thing that you can do is, like I just explained, use the W in order to very easily enter the work date. You see that the system now automatically will enter the work date. However, another thing that you can do is enter T, and this will be converted to today's date. So now if I click on enter, you will see that today's date is the 27th of January 2015. You see, so very easy to use the T to enter today's date. If you want to enter a date manually, you don't have to type separators like I just said. So I can enter, for example, 31/01/16, and this will be converted to the 31st of January 2016. And you even have to don't have to enter the year or the month if you're entering a date in the same month and the same year as the work date. So for example, if I would like to enter the 29th of January 2016, I can just enter 29 and the system will automatically add the month and the year based on the work dates. So there you go. And so these are a couple of very interesting features that you can use to enter dates. And because you might have to enter dates in NAV quite a lot, very useful to work more efficiently with the application. So let's now have a look at the second feature, and that's calculating an amount or quantity fields. And first of all, let me enter a customer. So for example, suppose that we are selling to customer 10,000. Then I can go to item and enter an item. For example, 1908S, which in this case is a swivel chair. I can enter the quantity, for example, 10 pieces. And you will see now that the unit price is retrieved from the item card at 123.30. However, if you now want to do a calculation, you can simply do this in this field. So I can enter, for example, 123.30 multiplied by 0.95 in order to give, for example, a 5% reduction. And you will see that the system will automatically calculate, in this case, 117.135. So again, it's not necessary to use my calculator. I can simply do these calculations in NAV directly. So also this is very useful. And then we also have the filter as you type function. Now let me go to the second line. So suppose that I would like to enter a second item, which is a bicycle. I can start entering BI, as you can see here, and the system will now start searching for items where the number starts with BI. Now of course there's no item in my case that starts with BI because I would like to enter the bicycle. What I can do now is click on description, and you will see now that the system will now retrieve bicycle, you see. And now if I would like to use this as my default filter column, so if I would like to have the system search on description also the next time I enter an item, I can set this as default filter column. And now I can select my bicycle, and there you go. So another example, if I now enter, for example, L, you will see now that the system will give me a complete list of items starting where the description starts with an L. So now I can enter, for example, O, which means that I now only have the items starting with LO. I can enter, for example, N, and now you will see that I'm left only with the London swivel chair. You see, so that's the filter as you type function. Very useful to search, in this case, for items, but you can do exactly the same when you are searching for customers, for vendors. So this concept is used throughout the whole application. Very useful thing.